Hey guys, how we doing? John Anthony, Chair Shot Sports. Welcome to the Sports Entertainment Center. I'm riding solo dolo this week. Everyone else has prior engagements, and God bless them. We all know life takes us in different directions, and not everything lines up in order for us to get on camera and talk about wrestling. But luckily for me, I have no life besides working my kids. So I'm here with you guys. We're here to talk. Again, welcome. Chair Shot Sports, a Sport Coin affiliate. I'm John Anthony. It's been a while since I've been on here. I've been a couple weeks off. I've had to work. A lot of stuff going on. Luckily, Vinny's been holding it down for me. I've had a couple other guys fill in, and ladies have filled in, which has been amazing. Shout out to Jess as well for helping us out. So, with all that being said, guys, what a fucking month it has been, and what a month coming up we have. I've said this before we just started getting started and talked about everything, and there's I had 13 followers before. I had 130 of you guys watching me. Wrestling is so much the Neapolitan of the ice cream of the world. The vanilla, the chocolate, the strawberry. WWE is slamming. It's on fire. AEW is picking up traction so fast. If you're not watching, you need to get on board. We're going to talk about that before we get off air tonight. TNA is about to blow off their Bound for Glory pay-per-view, which is one of their biggest pay-per-views aside from Slammiversary. Dare say almost like their WrestleMania of their promotion. Everything is going so well. The TNA NXT crossover. I'm sorry if I'm picking on things that maybe have already happened a couple weeks ago. I haven't seen you guys in a long time, and I miss you guys. And a lot of the shows I do, I'm pigeonholed and doing predictions. I'm talking about football. This is the one show where usually I have Vinny right over here, and we're able to talk about things I want to talk about. But today, it's me. Beetlejuice. You got me. And we're going to talk about some shit tonight. So without further ado, let's get that started. First thing I want to talk about is Samantha Irving. First of all, let me say, and the entire Chair Shot Sports organization and myself, Samantha Irving made Raw very enjoyable for me to watch every Monday for 3 hours. The reactions, the ring, oh my God, the Gunther intros, the Chelsea Green intros, the Miz, everybody knew, all of these extras shit that she made her own were amazing. And Samantha, thank you so much. Whatever you do, and I'm not gonna give you that future endeavor BS. Whatever you go do, drop a record, have a career. It's funny though. A report came out today that she's taking a hiatus away from wrestling. You know where she's gonna end up after that hiatus, right? It's gonna be AEW, and everyone should be perfectly fucking fine with that. To be perfectly honest with you, Samantha Irving gave her best foot forward every week, every announce, for every wrestler on WWE at any time, at any point. The reactions were genuine. She had plenty of YouTube videos that went viral because of her reactions in the ring, things like that. I'm sure she knew some of them. Some maybe she didn't. I don't know. But I digress. With that being said, Samantha Irving did an amazing job for her time in WWE on Raw on the USA Network. So she's be commended for that. And this whole Ricochet made her leave, all this other crap. I talked about this 3 months ago. I'm sorry, maybe 4 or 5. Whenever Ricochet left, y'all came for me. And I said Sam was going to leave. And you're like, oh, what are you talking about? She's not leaving. She's not going. She gave her notice months ago to WWE management. You guys are knee-jerk reacting to someone who's actually leaving because it's their contract's up. It happened to be on a Monday because usually your contracts end on a Sunday, which is the work week. And she gave her notice a while ago. And you guys didn't want to hear it. Nobody wanted to listen. And now it seems like a big deal. Oh, my God. No. Everyone knew. Everyone WWE knew. Someone said they're shocked. No, they're not. If anything, she kept it quiet from a lot of people. But no, everyone knew she was leaving. Wasn't going to AEW either. Ricochet came out and said that because she's going to go do her record deal. She's going to do her acting stuff. She's going to do all that stuff. And just like Renee Paquette, I guarantee you that she will pop up. Maybe not in a regular role, but a pay-per-view role, a collision role. Samantha Irving will end up announcing for AEW, which is phenomenal, great, and should very much be accepted by everyone in the wrestling community. She's an announcer, guys, and not for nothing, aside from anything else. Yeah, excuse me, I have a little bit of a cold, so if I sound a little coughed up, I'm sniffling, things like that. I'm getting over the cold. I'm good now, but you know, my kids go to daycare and they're like petri dishes. So, these people are. I got ahead of myself. These are people. She's married to Ricochet. So Ricochet's over in AEW. She's in WWE. Clearly, the two have different schedules. AEW's lighter. The grind is WWE, right? Can't blame her for leaving. So she wanted to do outside work. WWE's like, nope. She said, okay, I'm out. They said, okay. I say all that to say, welcome back to my childhood. Oh, he's still my beating heart. I feel like it was 2002 all over again. I'm a senior in high school. Lillian Garcia's in the middle of the WWE ring on Raw announcing matches, botching her first match call, but God bless her. It's been a while for her. I'm sure she's very nervous. But Lillian Garcia is going forward the new full-time ring announcer for WWE Raw. That's gonna be awesome going into that for Netflix as well. I think that's gonna be really cool. Really cool to see her. For me, it brought back a lot of nostalgia. Some of the best calls that I've seen in my lifetime growing up, Lillian Garcia. I mean, obviously the Fink, he called a lot of the early ones when I was growing up, but Lillian Garcia was there for almost all of them. All of them. Justin Roberts Lillian was there for all your WrestleMania events. All the calls was Lillian announcing and new. So awesome to see her on Raw. That was great for me. Great. I'm sure for a lot of other people watching this, but shout out to Lillian, man. Awesome job. Glad you got the jitters out of the way. Sure had some butterflies too, but excuse me. With that being said, yeah, good to see that. But I just think the hate for Samantha needs to stop. And you guys coming for Ricochet too? I put it on X. Like you guys talking shit to Ricochet, like doesn't make any sense. Like that dude's gonna take the smoke. Like Ricochet is, he proved something to me when he went to AEW and you guys started coming for it. That man can go on a keyboard. You got a little work to do on the mic, Ricochet. Let me tell you, but you're getting there. But on a keyboard, on X, dude's unmatched. Guys roasting dudes, roasting them. And of course, they're coming for his wife. He's obviously going to step up and say things. But I like that he just said, nope, she's not coming to AEW. Don't worry about it. Case closed. It's kind of gone under the wayside. So, with that being said, again, shout out to Samantha Irving. Thank you for all the years. Thank you for everything. It was awesome in the WWE. If she shows up in AEW, I'm going to be just as excited hearing her call right alongside Justin Roberts in the middle of that ring for a pay-per-view or a Dynamite or a Collision or a Rampage. So it's going to be cool as well. So, with that being said, that was Monday night. Tuesday night came, right? We're on the highway. We're on more like the interstate, not the highway, because like pay-per-views are the Mass Pike, right? Up here in Massachusetts, up in the Northeast. So we're more like on 290. We're on the little interstate, heading into this upcoming Sunday for Halloween Havoc. NXT made their debut on CW about 4 weeks ago, putting out their first pay-per-view on the CW. And it's Halloween Havoc. You got a couple matches, 5 of them to be precise. A lot of things going on in that, so I want to talk about that a little bit. And I apologize if I'm going a little fast, but I want to get through these predictions and get into the other subject matter that I have. I don't want to do a whole separate section on Halloween Havoc and all this other stuff. So the first one is I know the NXT Women's North American Championship is on the line. Kalani Jordan is taking on one member of the Fatal Influence. If I had to guess right now, out of the 3, I got to say it's going to be Fallon. And I think Fallon's going to win. Fallon is a talent. See what I did there? It rhymes. Fallon is a talent that they've wanted to push for a while. Could not get her over. They almost went a la Mickey James with her. Mickey James also retweeted her, commented on her posts. Shout out to Mickey James. We met her last year. Thank you so much. Big fan of the show. They tried a lot of things, made her go to the hardcore country, low key. Didn't really have anything for her. Put her in this faction with the Fatal Influence. I think this is kind of the way for her to be a champion, to hold on to the belt as a heel, to get that heat and have the help to retain it for a while. Maybe going into Stand and Deliver, where I don't think Kalani wins it back. I think it's probably a 3-way, a 4-way, maybe even a ladder match, if you will. Ava has a lot of things like that up her sleeve. So, but again, excuse me, I'm just getting over cold. So sorry if you hear sound like Bill Belichick on the mic right now. So I apologize. But I think Kalani finally wins the match. It's the numbers game, so she doesn't look weak. It's not a big deal. So Fallon Henley is going to walk out of NXT Halloween Havoc, your new women's North American champion. Then we have an ambulance match. Rich Holland, Andre Chase. This match is going to be sick. Dudes are going to bleed. Andre Chase goes the limit. I love the fact that man still comes out in that sweater and pants and just wrestles. Like, he obviously doesn't have the greatest physique. He never has coming out, but he obviously forming Chase U. But shout out to Andre, man. Like, that dude gets it done. And Ridge is a beast. And these guys are going to fuck each other up. So this is going to be an awesome match. Right here, if I had to call it, which I'm going to, Andre Chase gets the win here because everyone keeps talking about what he did to Thea. What he did to Thea. What he did to Thea. Can't treat Thea like this. Thea Hale's going to get involved and obviously get the win for Andre Chase. The only caveat I see of all of this, the only one, somehow Thea turns. This is MJF face. And goes with Ridge and goes heel. I can't see that happening at all. I can't see it at all happening. But it's got to be Andre Chase walking away. Thea comes down. She gets involved. Kind of screws over Ridge. But again, this is something else nefarious that happens on Ridge's behalf. I don't see Pete getting involved. I don't see Sheamus getting involved as far as the running buddies. So Andre Chase walks away, gets the comeback win in the ambulance match, which will be awesome to see. And then a huge match for me. This match, I'm really hoping this match delivers the way it looks like it will on paper. Obafemi, Tony D'Angelo, the Don for the North American Championship in a tables, ladders, and scares match. Oh God, I love you, NXT. Thank you, Shawn Michaels. There's no way Oba gets this back, right? I have Tony winning this match. Oba put everyone in their family, literally everyone in his family, through tables, through ladders. They're all going to come out and help him win. Unless Omos is walking down that ramp, right? Doing my best Patino. Omos is walking through that door. Unless Omos walks through that ramp and comes down to help Oba, there's no way Tony loses this match. There's just no way. I think it's going to be sick. It's going to be crazy. Oba's a big dude. Tony's a big guy. Those guys, I can't wait to see them on the main roster. I'm really hoping that what they've done in NXT translates up to the main roster, because I know it falls off sometimes with the fan base. Oba's going to be, no offense, Oba's going to be what Bobby Lashley couldn't. Bobby was amazing, still is amazing. He's going to be great in AEW with the Her Syndicate, but Oba is just so much more physical, nimble, aerial than what Bobby wasn't. Bobby is still a shit-kicking machine, and he's going to be awesome in AEW, and he's going to have that gold in 2025. I can tell you that right now. But so isn't Tony D'Angelo. Tony D'Angelo has lost some significant LBs. He's getting bigger. I just don't want to see him get pigeonholed into the FBI kind of stigma when he gets to WWE. And that's what I'm saying with Paul Levesque at the helm. If Vince was there, I tell you right now, Vince would take Tony and two other stunads, right, and make him the FBI, the full-blooded Italians from back in the 90s and 2000s. Paul Levesque will take it and make it a new style of that, but make him like Hitman, which will be awesome, right? So I'm excited to see that as well. That's going to be cool. But Tony D'Angelo walks out of tables, ladders, and scares. You're still your North American champion on NXT. And then we have a dream tag match for the ages. Like, this is something I don't think I could do in WWE 2K unless the characters were loaded up or I had time to make a call that linked up the right way. Roxanne Perez, Cora Jade, linking back to their good old days when they were together. Julia and Stephanie Vekor. Guys, this reeks of like fantasy warfare, of things you would want to see 3-4 years ago when we were talking about all the four of these guys. Or ladies, I apologize. But this is your very stereotypical tag match to not have the belt on the line, which it's still going to be a good match. If I had to be critical, Julia looks good. I think they're holding her back from her hard style, what she's done in New Japan, what she's done in the Indies. They're holding her back a little bit. I like Vacora's finisher. She looks good. I like that. And still, I think they're not unleashing them yet. I don't think they're ready for that. They're waiting for Netflix. But I think the women need to toughen up. And I say that in a way, please, if you're a woman watching this isn't sexist or anything like that. But if you watched WWE back in the 90s and 2000s, I'm not talking about when it was TNA. For those of you who don't know, it's tits and ass, right? This show's not made for kids. So I apologize to anyone that's listening to it. That's under 18. I'm not talking about back in the day when they were using him as, blow-up dolls and boobies and butts and everything everywhere. That's not what I'm talking about. But the women would take bumps away from China because China was a freak. But the women would take bumps from the guys. It was totally cool. It wasn't like they did it. They obviously go watch. You guys know it's fake, right? Go watch. They protected the women. Whenever they did something, they were okay with it. They didn't get hurt. They were very protected. That's what we need to get back to. When you get people like Julia, you got someone like Stephanie Vekor, right? You have a Rhea Ripley. I'm not a huge Liv Morgan fan, but God, even Liv Morgan. Like, these women need to get physical, right? Selena Vega, she might be 4'9". She can still go. I know right now we're all talking about the room with Rhea Ripley, Dominic Mysterio match. Yeah, send it. Send it. Have you seen Rhea Ripley? Guys, she's not 5'3", 125 pounds. She's 6'2" and can kick the shit out of Dominic Mysterio in real life. That man does not know how to find a gym. He's spending too much time on the PS5 and eating his tendies. He needs to lift some weights. That dude, his dad is shorter than him and way more built. Like, come on. Let's figure it out. He's lost the baby fat, but he's got to hit the weights too. But I digress. But we're getting upset. We're getting like, oh, do we want to see the match? Yes, we want to see the match. It's Rhea bloody Ripley. The woman can take on a man, especially, no offense, to Dom Mysterio. It's not like she's taking on Goldberg or like Braun Breaker. That's the point of the match. Dom is a weaker guy. He's not a beta. Maybe he's a beta. But seriously. Anyway, I don't want to get too far off the track from NXT on Halloween Havoc. But that being said, Julia and Vekor get the win here. Perez takes the pin. I don't know who from who. I know those two win. I don't know who's going to get the pin. I want to say Julia. She was here first. Well, it makes sense, right? But I'll go on record. Julia and Vekor get the win. Roxy takes the pin. They get the pin. Roxy takes the pin. I don't know from who. I'm not going to call that. I want to say Julia, but maybe it's Vekor. Maybe they kind of battle it out, see who goes, all that good stuff. Maybe triple threat. Who knows? Down the road, kind of gets them into stand and deliver. Prime time, long-term booking. Thank you, Paul Levesque. So with that being said, main event. Tricky two-time. Tricky Williams NXT champion taking on the Devil, which is wild. Wild that someone in WWE, NXT, let alone WWE, is taking on the Devil moniker, with AEW using it so soon in the past, and Ethan Page coming from AEW. That's got to be a rib. It got to be a shot. I feel like he must have went to someone creative and said, no, let me call myself the Devil. Let me get that. Because not doing it anymore. I mean, MJF not so much. Adam Cole, they're a new thing. They're not saying it, so why not, right? They will be in a Devil's Playground match. Pretty much, for those of you first-timers, anything goes. Everything and the kitchen sink can pretty much be used. If you watched the promo this past Tuesday, Paige had a lot to say. Wasn't wrong in a lot of what he said. Williams is untested. Trick's never bled. Trick's never had the shit kicked out of him. Him and Mello had some bangers. I was there. I was there for one of them. I was at Battleground, and I was at Countdown. So Deadline. Jesus, Countdown. Deadline. But Trick and Ethan are going to bleed. These guys are going to go to town. So it's not going to be for the faint of heart. It's on PLE. It's on Peacock, right? So that's not USA. It's not CW. Let's go. But with all that being said, I think this is where Ethan said a lot of things on Tuesday that made sense to me. It made sense for him to lose. I think Trick gets the win here, albeit by a thread. Ethan's going to pull all the stops out. The only thing that I can see how Trick doesn't keep this belt is if there's a run-in from someone either debuting or someone up mellow, somebody from the main roster that comes down and helps Ethan Page. That's the only way I can see Ethan Page winning. Without that, I think Ethan Page takes the L. A hard-fought L, okay? Nobody loses here. Somebody's got to take the 1, 2, 3. But nobody's going to be able to. Everyone wins here. Somebody just can't win the belt. Not everyone can win the belt. Trick retains. The Cinderella story goes on. Ethan has already been seen on Raw and SmackDown television talking to the GMs. I think we don't wait for a draft. We take Ethan. We put him on Raw or SmackDown. The man has been doing it for years, as he said, 17 years. And a lot of people came out for him this week saying he was shit-talking AEW. It's not Ethan's fault that Tony Khan didn't use him on regular TV the way he should have. The all-ego thing was hot for a minute, and then Tony shelved it. How is that Ethan's fault? So if Ethan wants to take a mic and somewhat air his grievances, right? The same, but you know what? And we're going to talk about this before we get off the air. This is why I really hope you guys keep watching the rest of this episode, because I have a lot to say in regards to WWE and AEW. It's okay for Ricochet to go to AEW from WWE and get an international title shot. And you're like, yeah, he finally got the shot he never got in WWE. Yeah. And then he's sitting here with the Hurt Syndicate saying how, like, oh, new business, you, man. New chance, new opportunity. And how he didn't get opportunities in his last place. But then Ethan comes to NXT. A lot of you AEW fans have forgot that NXT is the developmental brand. They're not a brand. They're close. I called it 5 months ago, by the end of 2024. NXT will be a moving, fluid, on the road third brand. And that could still happen. St. Louis, Chicago, the PLEs are starting to be in other places too, so give it time. But I digress. Ethan Page doesn't win Sunday. He doesn't need to. He gets to take the L, make Trick the big heel for the rest of the year, going into Stand Deliver. Who he takes on? Can't call that yet. Could it be Tony D? Maybe. lot of the is Oma going to be the guy to take that belt off a Trick? Quite possibly. We don't know yet. So it's going to be wild, guys. It's going to be a good time to watch. I think Halloween Havoc is going to be a good show. Not as predictable as before, as a lot of PLEs are with NXT. Probably see 1 or 2 title changes. Some wins you might not think are going to happen. But yeah, excited for it. It's going to be good. With that being said, so if we're just going on a timeline, right? We're talking about Mondays, talking about Tuesdays. I want to talk about Fridays. I want to talk about Kevin Owens. This Kevin Owens storyline right now, ever since he beat the hell out of Cody Rhodes after his tag match with Roman Reigns outside his bus, I really like the direction that they're going right now with Kevin Owens. This reeks of 2011 Kevin Steen, Ring of Honor, fired, sending out videos and vignettes and phone video messages in the internet to fans about how they won't let me come to work. I can't come to work. These guys suck. I can't do this. Kevin Owens needs to have the phenomenal either Universal or World Heavyweight Championship run. I don't care if it's Raw. I don't care if it's SmackDown. I really don't. I don't care. I don't. But when it happens, Kevin needs to be Kevin Steen. I would even be okay if they changed his name back to Kevin Steen. I'd be okay with that. Like, he's so mad he doesn't want the Kevin Owens name anymore. But Kevin is one of those guys. Well, obviously just re-upped recently. He's not going anywhere. Man. I hate to do this, all these mid-shows. People must like turn me off. And they're like, this asshole. Like, these AEW people are like, Kevin Steen is elite. No, he's not. Guys, he just re-upped. It's a storyline. He re-upped like 8 months ago. He's not leaving, going to AEW. And I know you guys do it for clout, and you do it for clickbait, and you do it for comments and all your other bullshit. I get it. But just, dude, stop it. Just enjoy the product. You guys hate on WWE so much. You can't enjoy. You hate the product as a whole, and you call Vince McMahon a pedophile, which he is, and all this other shit, right? You just can't enjoy the characters for what they are. If you just try to enjoy, if you're an AEW fan, right? I can't watch it WWE. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Because half the storylines are doing AEW, they're doing WWE, and vice versa. You took some from them, they took some from you. Same shit. Okay? But if you watch the characters and take the letters out of it, right? Take the 3 letters out of each one. Just watch the show. You'd probably be pleasantly surprised about how much you want to watch and how much you're actually like, oh, wow. Actually, it's kind of cool. All right, I'll watch this. Cool. But I say all that to say, kudos up to WWE. Kudos to Kevin Owens for the throwback, to go back to this kind of vignette kind of stuff where I'm not showing up. They don't want me there, and I don't know if I'm coming back. So when he does come back, got to set something up. I don't think they're going to wait all the way to WrestleMania. It's got to be the Rumble, maybe even something in December. I'm praying to God they bring back Armageddon. They brought back Bad Blood. I'm really hoping Armageddon is the next one on the list. I'm waiting for that announcement to drop sooner than later. But yeah. So love to do it with Kevin Owens. That's an amazing storyline. He's going to do awesome. And I think 2025 is going to be the year he finally gets gold back around his waist, meaning world championship gold. It has an amazing run. It's got to be against Cody. Everyone's talking Rock, Roman, Solo, Jacob against Cody. KO versus Cody. Who's to say Cody needs to carry that belt in WrestleMania? Nobody said that. Not one fucking person said Cody needs to carry that belt into WrestleMania. Cody can fight The Rock. Cody can fight Roman. Cody can fight Solo. He can fight Jacob. He can fight any of them without a belt on the line. Kevin can take that belt from Cody, be the massive heel he needs to be, and beat the shit out of people on SmackDown. That's what you want to see. Maybe Kevin. So, just getting into a little bit. Randy Orton turned his back on Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is butthurt about it. KO takes the belt from Cody. Everybody and their brother thinks with Randy looking down at the belt like this when he's with Cody, thinking he's gonna turn on Cody. No, you guys got it all wrong. KO wins the belt from Cody. Randy takes on KO to get his next championship reign. This is what's so funny about the IWC, and I've said it for months. I've said it for years. I've been doing this before I was on Spotify, before I was on YouTube, man. You guys are so in the moment. You want the long-term storytelling, but you don't want the long-term story. You don't want to wait the 5-6 months. If you don't want to wait, go to AEW. But not to piss you off, not to give you a little bit of a spoiler, AEW's figuring it out too. So now you got to wait on both shows, the long-term storytelling. You got to wait for your payoff and wait for the blow-off, which is great. That's what needs to happen. Needs to go back to old school wrestling. So it's not the Vince McMahon shit where every other week the title's changing. It's a new title match thrown together, and your big favorite that's getting cheers is winning some gold. So get ready, guys. You're going to be mad at AEW and WWE. If you're that mad, listen, turn the computer off, go upstairs, grab a juice box out of mom's fridge, go outside, sit in the backyard and touch some grass and enjoy the sun. If you're that mad because your guy didn't win or because it took more than a month for somebody to win a championship belt in a program, didn't win it the first time, guys, you're not seasoned. You haven't watched it for a while. That's not how things are done anymore. That was done for a while back. That was under a different regime, but I think Tony Khan's getting it. I know Paul Levesque knows it, and so is Nick Khan. You guys got to wait a little bit for your payoff. You got to make you watch the product. Watch the product. Number one rule. So without talking about that, talking about Cody, talking about Roman, I want to talk about the next big PLE coming out of WWE, not NXT, but WWE Raw and SmackDown WarGames. For the past couple of weeks, what I've seen, it's obvious that I don't think they're doing a men's. I don't think they're going to do a men's and a women's this year. Nothing women's wise makes sense to me. There's no big factions. I mean, Damage Control is doing what they got to do, but not enough people. Not a lot going on as far as the women wise. But I can tell you this: unless they throw something together, I mean, okay, maybe I'm gonna be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure I have your Raw and SmackDown WarGames matches. On SmackDown, it's a foregone conclusion. It's the Bloodline. It's the Bloodline 2.0 versus old school Bloodline. It's gonna be Roman, Jimmy, Jay, and everyone. You guys keep saying Sami Zayn. I just can't see put Sammy and Sami in the same. Sammy getting back into that storyline. I feel like it puts him behind. Maybe he does, and maybe I'm totally wrong. We're gonna watch this, and I'm gonna tune in on 2 weeks and watch him pop out and help out the Bloodline. Maybe that happens. But like I said, this past Monday, which we called on Chair Shot Sports, a lot of people called me out. Go look at the tweet. I told you that Jacob Fatu was going to cost Jey Uso that belt, and he did the Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker is your two-time Intercontinental Champion. So I think it's Roman, Jim Jay, Cody. The flip side, I don't know. So there's reports of The Rock not being around for WrestleMania. Does The Rock pop up next week? Does it pop the week after? Crown Jewel is a whole other thing. We're going to talk about Crown Jewel next week. That's a whole other entity. I have like 3 pay-per-views. This is wild. There's this many pay-per-views before, like a PLE. A PLE before PLE, 2 weeks before, but whatever. Is it Rock, Solo, Jacob? Like, who else gets involved? You know what I mean? Like, who else? I don't know. Like, obviously, there's a lot of names. There's a lot of Usos that can get involved in this match. But on the Roman side, Roman, Jimmy J, and Cody. Those are the 4. If you want to go 5, does Brock Lesnar make an appearance? Does he make a comeback? Does Paul Heyman make his return and bring Brock Lesnar? Does Paul Heyman bring Brock Lesnar to be a heel against Roman Reigns? Now that Roman is so over as the original tribal chief. A lot of things are going to get, I guess, answered, but a lot of doors are going to be opened at Survivor Series WarGames. Excited for it. Very, very, very excited for it. On the Raw side, I'm pretty sure it's made itself clear to you guys. The Final Testament and the Wyatt Six are now at war with each other. Miz has now been absorbed into the Final Testament against his will, obviously, as an honorary member, if you will. So there's your four with the AOP, with Karrion Kross, and with the Miz. And obviously, you flip it over to the Wyatt Six. You have the bunny, the rabbit, the pig, and obviously Uncle Howdy. So that would actually make sense if those were your two men's matches. I mean, for the life of me, I can't see any women's matches right now. I mean, you could probably put Nia with Tiffany. I mean, you could put a heel and face team together if you wanted to, but I feel like this year it's just gonna be a Raw and SmackDown match, men and men. There you go. It makes itself make sense. That was hard to say. That's good. I guess lastly, what I want to talk about before I get off the air here, and I've been holding this in for a while because this is tough. It seems to be a diverse split a lot of people, right? If you've been watching me, if you watch this channel, and don't take my word for it, go back and look at all my podcasts, go look at my YouTubes, go look at the shows I do. I do AEW shows, I do WWE shows. I talk shit about both, I praise both. That's what we do. We're bipartisan. I don't give a shit. If you suck on Wednesdays, you suck on Tuesdays, Mondays, and Fridays, cool. I'm going to talk about it. The Jon Moxley faction right now is the best thing going in professional wrestling. How many got mad about I said that? How many? You already get mad? You can't get mad. You can, but you're going to get mad WWE for it. WWE dropped the ball. Because Jon Moxley, at some point, must have went to AEW, went to Tony Khan, whoever's in charge of creative. And they got a couple of guys and ladies from WWE. So they're not exactly unfamiliar with the storylines that have run WWE over the past 15 years. The Jon Moxley group, I've gone on record as saying, is run by Shane McMahon. And I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to put that. When I die on that hill, I'm going to put it on the wall. That's going to happen. Maybe they get to stretch it all the way out to Revolution. Cool. Whatever. Shane McMahon is going to make an appearance. There's going to be a brand extension. They're going to take that page out of WWE's book, which they need to, which will be amazing for Dynamite and Collision to be two separate shows to build people to watch Collision. That's what you need to do. Screw Rampage. It's taped. Nobody watches it. Put Collisions. And guys, read the tea leaves. They're already putting Collision on its own live tour. It goes by itself now. They're already getting ready for the branding sense to get you already built into, okay, it's two different shows, which is a great, great thing for AEW. It's a great, great thing for wrestling. It's a great, great thing for WWE because the more competitive AEW is, the better WWE gets, and the better WWE gets, the better AEW gets, guys. And everyone forgets TNA is in the background. Yeah, they're partnered with WWE, but they're getting just as good, guys. Wrestling is great. Wrestling is great again. Enjoy it. But I digress. I want to go back to this Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley right now, this faction, what it looks like to me is a hybrid of the Shield and of the NWO. That's what I see. It's a hybrid of the two. It's the Shield of what WWE wouldn't let them do. And it's the NWO taking over. This is our place. Screw you. This is our belt now. Without spray painting it. But more so focus on the Shield issue of it, right? There's four of them now instead of three. But it's literally just taking guys out, interfering in matches, winning by whatever needs necessary. Just getting the job done. Just like he did with Seth and Roman over in WWE. The problem was WWE only went so far. So, kudos to Jon Moxley, kudos to AEW, and kudos to Tony Khan for letting John. I hope at some point was like, listen, let me make the Shield in the image that they wouldn't let me make it. Let me do that. And Tony's like, okay, yeah, right, man. Sounds great. That's awesome. Sounds great, man. You're gonna be great. Awesome. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, great ratings. So hopefully that's kind of how it went down. So before I sign off, I guess I wish Vinny was here, man, because I kind of want someone to bounce this off of, because Vinny never really watched AEW, and he's very critical of AEW. This isn't a shot at Vinny. This is a shot. This is a PSA, if you will, a coming to Jesus, a I don't want to say mantra, call to arms, if you will, right? I've been doing this a long time. One of my first podcasts on Spotify, when AEW started, I said AEW was going to be an issue because Tony Khan was going to be like the Indian in the cupboard. He was going to stock his cupboard with all the cool, shiny toys, not be able to use them. That's exactly what happened. Booked all these guys, signed them all from WWE when they wanted to jump. He signed them all, had no room. Then he made Collision. Then he made Rampage. First he had AEW Dark. Then he bought Ring of Honor. Still didn't make out. Still didn't make out the way he needed to. So I watch online. I watch on X. I watch on Facebook. I watch on Twitter. I'm sorry, Instagram. I'll look on everything. AEW sucks. AEW's in the mud. Anyone who's anybody knows AEW the past 9 months has sucked attendance-wise. I was here in Worcester. And again, I have pictures. I put them online because I'm not that guy, because I love both brands. I pay hard-earned money to go sit in a seat for AEW just as I do for WWE. So let me get out of the way first before y'all say anything or come for me. There's a reason why the ramp is expanded. There's a reason why Tony moved everything around to make it look bigger, right? There's a lot of seats in the DCU Center here in Worcester. DCU Center isn't that big. Maybe sits 9,000. Maybe had 4,000 people there. Maybe. And that's great. That's great. For Dynamite, not great. For Collision, phenomenal if you get them to go Collision. It's still the secondary show. They're still building it. For Dynamite, you should be that's your flagship. That's your Raw. You should be selling out arenas. Nah, Jack. Nope, nothing. But I say all that because I look at X, and everyone's talking shit about the attendance, and AEW's in the mud. They're going out of business. Everyone wants them to die. I've been sitting here. I've been talking to my co-pilot Jess, and a lot of stuff. I'm talking to Mike, and I've been talking to Vinny as well about it. Without a strong, sustainable AEW future, there is no WWE future. You need competition. Vince did a great job for a while of creating his own competition with the brand extension. I give him a lot of credit. That was very out of the box, very innovative. Worked out very well. Put some SmackDown on it. I like my wrestling Raw. I like it Raw. Whatever they were doing, whatever the T-shirt said, right? You got Bischoff over here. You got Stephanie over here. It was great. It was great. At the end, it sucked. The wild card rule. Vince fucked it up. Whatever. Went back to regular wrestling. Everyone on every show every week. So this is what I'm saying. With Tony Khan going toward this thing with Shane McMahon, I feel like with this group, we're moving toward that kind of thing. We're having a Survivor standoff, and there's a splitting of the rosters to build more notoriety, more what's I'm looking for, loyalty to either Wednesdays or Saturday nights, because you want your show on Saturday nights to do big, right? I guess I'll get the long and the short of it. You guys, it's just so funny. Everyone had talked all their trash about AEW for so long that they're in the mud. And now, for the past month, Ricochet, MVP, Shelton Benjamin, Bobby Lashley, Leo Rush, if you want to go that deep with it, the new Mox faction, which is pretty much all X8 WWE guys except for Yuta, right? Now AEW is cool. I've been watching it since it started. And I started watching for Cody. I did. And it sucked for a little bit. It was cool for a good part, and then people start like you could see like there was nothing going on. Like there was no actual storytelling. It was book the matches, book the matches, book the matches. I've been saying for the past year, if Tony just figures out long-term storytelling or just storytelling in general, is able to put together 2 to 3 months of storytelling when you get to a match, Swerve and Hangman, like MJF and Daniel Garcia. Yes, let's go. Then you're doing Hangman and Jay White. Yes. Like eventually Tony Storm's gonna come back. Tony Storm, Mariah May. Yes. These are the things that Tony needs to do, and he's doing them. Look at the ratings. NXT isn't on USA anymore, right? NXT's averaging 680,000, 720,000. AEW's right behind with 580, 610,000. Maybe 75 to 80,000 viewers swing the vote either way. But it's just funny now. Now everyone thinks it's cool if you're an AEW. If you're an AEW fan. Shane's coming back. Mox has the belt. Oh no, the NWO faction has the belt. The Shield faction has the belt. I'm gonna tune in. Oh, WWE's in the mud. Oh God, Paul's not a book. Oh God, this person's losing. I guess what I wanted to talk about is just as IWC. You can look at me like this isn't. I'm not trying to stereotype, right? This isn't my basement. This is my office. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm a general manager. I run in my own restaurant, independently owned. Like, I say all that because, like, I have a life, right? I'm not just on here talking stupid shit. Maybe you think it's stupid, which it might be because of my own opinions. Maybe I'm just talking on my ass. Maybe I am. But like, I have a life. This is my hobby. This is my passion. So I talk. I come on here and I say my views. But I also scroll a lot on social media. And not the stupid accounts too, not the bots, not the porn, not the bots that everyone's talking about. Like, no, people that have like 5, 6, 7,000 followers talking shit about one or the other, WWE or AEW. And you guys are literally, like, there's one dude, I'm not going to use his name, every Wednesday, like, Real Wrestling's back. And he puts up the AEW. You're literally stealing from WWE Gareth, who did that for every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. But then stopped because he got so dull because literally, like, it was getting thousands and thousands of follows and shares. But now he stops. So now you're like, Bray Wrestling's back. It's all wrestling. It's all real wrestling. Ricochet said this past Wednesday, it's where the best wrestle. True. To say that WWE doesn't have some of the best wrestling for them, that's a little bit of a stretch for me. All companies are great. All 2 of them are great. TNA is great. So all 3. New Japan is great. That's 4. Does anyone forget about the NWA in the back? It's raising their hand. That's 5. There's something out there for everybody, guys. And I guess I just say this on this crusade where I'm like, what I'm saying is probably falling on a lot of deaf ears. So I'm gonna go fuck myself. Probably a lot of you already turned off the video. Hopefully you're still listening. Like, you can like what you like, but you don't have to hurt anyone else or help or wishing death on Ricochet or injury, wishing Sam Irving to get hurt, wishing death on champions, being happy when they go out with injuries. That's a problem. That's a mental illness to do that, to wish ill on somebody. That's a problem. Excuse me. That's a look for professional help. Like, honestly, that's when you need to realize that every single person on the WWE, the AEW, TNA, NWA, New Japan Pro Wrestling roster is a fucking human being. They put their pants on like you. They breathe the same air as you. They eat the same meals. They have kids. They have wives. They have families. It's just so sickening to see people out here thinking it's okay to get on their fucking keyboard and to think they can just get away with saying whatever they want. about somebody hoping that Becky Lynch's and Seth's daughter dies. What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you people? Seriously. If I'm wrong, please hit me in the comments. Come for me. I don't care. What's wrong with you? Someone gets injured, you cheer it. Good, you deserved it. The fuck? No one goes to your job when you're sweeping when you're being a janitor, sweeping out the toilets. When you tear your ACL, you slip on some water. No one's cheering you get hurt. You're cheering the guy that goes out there and works 300 days a year in the WWE, busting his ass night after night, house shows, live shows, all of them. Same thing for AEW. AEW's even worse. They're AEW Dynamite playing for maybe a fourth quarter arena, people getting hurt. But that's okay, right? I don't know. I guess I'm waiting for a while. I've been away for 2-3 weeks. I wanted to say something for a while. Me saying this, I'm going to fall on deaf ears, and probably a lot of you already turned off and now listening to the final part of this, but it's toxic. It needs to stop. It really does. Like, you don't like the AEW, don't watch it. Don't turn on Wednesdays and Saturdays. You don't like WWE, don't watch Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. Don't turn on USA with the CW. It's not hard. No one's forcing you. The problem is you sit here on your keyboard and you say, I hate this. But when you sit your ass on your couch with the imprint left there from when you were there 2 hours ago and all the Dorito dust around you, eating your Pringles and your chips and drinking your soda, and you're still tuning on to USA and CW, but yet you hate it so much, but you're still going to sit there and you're going to put your comments about how shitty the match was that just opened the show. Make it make sense. Critique things, cool. Hate things, don't watch it. Can't be both. And wishing ill will, death, or injury, or harm to a man, woman, and one of their fucking children is archaic, barbaric, immature, and, lack for a better word, just stupid. But with that being said, guys, hoping for a lighter episode next week, I'm sure, when Vinny goes back and joins me. But I'm John Anthony, guys. This is Chair Shot Sports. This is the Sports Entertainment Center. You can find us on Twitter, join the 17,000 strong there, following us also on Instagram and on Facebook at Chair Shot Sports. If you're watching this right now on YouTube, please shoot us a subscribe, shoot us a like, throw us up in the comments what's up, what you do or don't like. We'll work around it, but please hit that bell at least 3 to 4 shows a week on wrestling, football, and everything sports. So, guys, with that being said, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a great weekend, and we will talk.